Hey everybody, Bryce Schinke with Remax Advantage Plus. Today I want to quickly talk to you about the steps to buying your home. The very first thing that you're going to want to do is get pre-approved with a local reputable lender. Somebody who's going to answer your phone calls, answer your questions, depends on your referral business. Somebody who's well known in the industry. I have many great partners that I'm happy to give you their names if you'd like. This is super important so you know what your overall buying power is for your new home. They'll give you your options on payments, things like that, so that you can understand what kind of house you can afford when you go out and search in the marketplace. The next thing you're going to want to do after getting pre-approved is get yourself connected with a great real estate agent. And this is super important early in the process so that agent can go over your likes, your wants, your needs in a home, the location, everything that's important to you. They should be sitting down and listening to your needs in your next home. Really focusing on the affordability component. We really don't want you to get into a house that you can't afford, where you're going to be house poor. Owning a new home takes a lot more than it does to rent. And owning a home isn't for everyone. You know, there's nothing wrong with renting for a period of time. However, if you're ready to take that next step and make your equity work for you by owning your own home, the best thing to do is get in contact with that real estate agent to make sure that they're looking out for your best interest in finding the home that you want according to your payment, your terms, the things that you need and want in a home. Some things that you're going to want to consider is the amount of money it's going to take in order for you to get that home. One thing that you need to make sure that you have is enough money for earnest money. And what is earnest money? Earnest money is basically what secures that offer that you make on the home when you find it. There's very few ways that you can lose your earnest money, but that earnest money really becomes part of your down payment when you go to close on your next home. Typically, it's 1% of the purchase price is what we suggest when you're putting together your offer for your home. So in that case, if you have a $400,000 home, the least amount of earnest money that you want to put down is $4,000, and that will go towards your overall down payment. Now, I always suggest that you have at least 20% saved up for your down payment. So in a $400,000 home, you take that and you get your 20% of the $400,000. That's your down payment. You also need to consider your closing costs. Sometimes, depending on the market, we're able to negotiate a little help from the seller with your closing costs, but that's not always the case, especially if it's a competitive property. So you want to consider having an additional 3% of the purchase price in order to have your closing costs. So really the recommended amount, 23%, your 20% down payment, your 3% for your closing costs. Now you can put down less than 20%. You don't need 20% to put down on a loan. There are some loans out there like the Department of Veteran Affairs. If you're a veteran, you're able to put down zero. You don't have to put down anything. You can put down more than zero if you want. It really is going to depend on what payment works best for you. Then you look at things like FHA loans, which are a minimum of 3.5% down in order to do an FHA loan. Many first-time home buyers find that they are approved for an FHA loan. Where conventional loans, you can go as low as 3%. However, most oftentimes we'll see 5% and above, and up to 20% if you want to avoid what's called private mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance falls on FHA loans and conventional loans for anybody putting less than 20% down. Mortgage insurance is the lender's way of saying you haven't gotten to 20%, so it's a way for us to insure the loan or make sure that that gap from whatever percentage you're putting down to the 20% is covered by insurance in the case that you default in your loan. Some other things to think about when you are purchasing your home is we have inspections. Inspections can typically cost anywhere from $300 to $500. It's where you hire somebody to come in and look at the home head to toe to make sure that there isn't any issues with the home. Major problems like foundation problems, things with the electrical system or components, things with plumbing, the roof, basically anything you can think of in the home. The inspector's job is to go in there and really find problems. That's their job, is to find any problems they can possibly find in that home so that you are aware of them. Some things are items that we can negotiate with the seller in order to take care of those problems. And other items, maybe minor things that are found in the home, are more of an FYI for you as a new homeowner to take care of at a later time, or just kind of a heads up to continue watching. Some things that you also may want to consider when you're purchasing a home is, do you have a house to sell? Do you need to sell a house in order to buy your next one? Oftentimes, real estate agents like myself will recommend to our clients that they sell their house first prior to buying their next one. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. In a competitive market, it's very difficult to get an offer accepted if you are contingent on the sale of another home. Sometimes that worries sellers because they don't want to become homeless. There are many things that we can do on the back side of that to make sure that you do not go forward with a purchase agreement without making sure that you at least have some protection of staying in your home if things fall apart or moving on to your next one. And everybody's situation is a little bit different. So what I highly recommend to most of my clients is to get their house sold contingent on you finding your next home, so that allows you to be more competitive in your offer. A lot of times, if you have a home to sell, you have to give up some terms in order for a seller to feel comfortable with moving forward with your offer. In order to get you the very best deal and protect your interest in your money, it's best to have your home already with a contract on it before locating your next property. When you've completed your inspection period, if you so choose to have one during that time, you'll then move on and finish up your mortgage application, work with your lender to finalize your loan before closing occurs. During that time, the title company, which is doing a title search in the background to make sure that the property is able to be transferred to you at the time of closing. So they're looking for any liens, encumbrances, encroachments, easements, things that are going to affect the ability to transfer the property free and clear to you as the new buyer. What happens during that search is they look at way back in the history of time of when that property was first built and sold through the chain of ownership all the way to the present day to make sure nobody else has interest on that property and they're able to transfer it to you. They provide you what's called title insurance at the end of that closing when you go purchase your home. That title insurance insures you in the event that the title company missed something during that title search. Let's say the last ownership had Uncle Jimmy as a part of a property owner, but Uncle Jimmy didn't sign off on anything, nor did the owners that you negotiated to buy the home from mention that Jimmy had an ownership in the property. Title company missed it too. But here comes Uncle Jimmy knocking on the door, asking for his money because his interest wasn't taken care of at the time of closing. So what happens is title insurance kicks in, takes care of that for you so that you can move on without having to have any problems with Uncle Jimmy. On the day of closing, you'll also do a final walkthrough of the property. And really what the final walkthrough of the property is to make sure the property is in the same condition as it was when you made your offer on it. Accidents happen, acts of God happen, lots of different things can happen between getting an offer accepted and getting to the closing day so that you can move into your new home. Could be a water heater that flooded the basement the night before closing. Could be a lot of different things. We want to make sure that the owner or the previous owner has taken out all of their personal property that wasn't to remain with the property. So we want to make sure that your interests are in good hands prior to signing on the paperwork on the dotted line and paying all this money for this property. So we do a final walkthrough of the property to make sure it's in good condition. Usually that's done on the day of closing right before you go sign the paperwork. Then, congratulations, you're on your way to the title company, ready to sign your mortgage, provide your down payment, and all the paperwork necessary in order to get the keys to your new house. I hope this video was helpful. If you want to go over your specific situation or any questions that you might have, you can call me at 651-302-4812 or email at Bryce, BRYCE, @brycerealestate.com. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.